Morning everyone, hope you guys doing all great and all safe. I just got my first vaccination at Friday morning, right? 맞았는데 진짜 하루 종일 은근히 팔이 막 아프더라고. So I don't know when you guys would have your vaccinations, but 빨리 맞아서 빨리 락다운이 되는데 같이 힘썼으면 좋겠어. 그리고 또 it's good for you as well, right? So hope you guys get your vaccinations as soon as possible, and hope I could see you in offline as soon as possible as well. 자, 그때까지 계속해서 우리는 말씀과 기도로 힘내서 나아갑시다. 자, 오늘의 말씀은 시편 84편 10절 말씀입니다. It's Psalms chapter 84 verse 10. 같이 한 목소리로 읽어봅시다. 시작. 주의 궁정에서의 한 날이 다른 곳에서의 첫날보다 나은즉 악인의 장막에 사는 것보다 내 하나님의 성전 문지기로 있는 것이 좋사오니. Amen. Okay, before we get into the texts, I just prepared some balance game. 밸런스 게임이라고 요즘 또 유튜버들이 하는 게 좀 있더라고. 그래서 딱 한 질문 준비해봤어. So, rather you go to fancy places with random person that you don't know, or you go to some normal places that you are already used to with your friends, your best friends. 뭐가 더 좋을 것 같아? 아예 모르는 사람이랑 좋은 데 가기, 혹은 그냥 맨날 가던 데인데 친구들이랑 가기. Which one you would like to do? 나라면은 I would go to some normal places with my friends, because even though it's like fancy and nice places, if I have to travel with random person that I don't even know the name, it would be really, really awkward and 와 진짜 불편할 것 같아. Like you guys do have a camp at school. I had my school camp when I was in Korea as well. 그래서 한국에서는 보통 이제 캠프를 간다 그러면은 we go to Jeju Island. 제주도를 많이 가. So it's like Brisbane or Tasmania in Australia, right? 그래서 제주도라는 곳을 많이 가는데 it's not like your school camp, but our school camp is like the place you suffer and you train hard, right? So 그래서 막 스쿼트를 막 1시간 동안 시키기도 하고, and you also have some exercises for an hour, and you have to each programs that we have is suffering, and it's like no fun at all, and no break time as well. 그래서 진짜 힘든 캠프를 가끔 가기도 해. So that's how we call 수련회. So 그래서 when we go to school 수련회, it's just a time of suffering, but it's just a place that is really great. But still, 그때는 당연히 힘들었지만 when it comes to today, it turns back to a memory and 추억으로, experience로 남더라고. Why? Because I had all those times with my best friends together. So when I've spent a nice time with my friends, it doesn't matter where I was, it doesn't matter what I do, it comes back as a really good memory and really good experience. 그래서 내가 무슨 생각이 들었냐면, even it was some specific place like Jeju Island that is used to known as a traveling and nice views, right? But it doesn't matter. 솔직히 말해서 뭐 거기서 뭘 했는지 막 그렇게 많이 기억은 안 나. I just remember the times that I spent with my friends, right? 그래서 the reason I remember those times is not about the place that I was or the things that I did, but it was about the time that I spent with my friends. 그래서 내가 생각했던 게 뭐냐면, it's not an important matter that where am I or what I do. The important thing that I feel is it's more important to consider who am I with when I do something or when I go somewhere. So these two, this is the most important thing, that who you are with, right? And same thing, same point, 내가 이 말씀을 통해서 느낀 게 있어. 자, 다시 한번 말씀을 봅시다. 주의 궁정에서의 한 날이 다른 곳에서의 첫날보다 나은즉 악인의 장막에 사는 것보다 내 하나님의 성전 문지기로 있는 것이 좋사오니. So, 방금 말했던 그 메모리와 함께 When I see this verse, I just come up with 2 points. It is not a matter where you at. Second, it is not a matter what you do. Some of you might know, 시편, Psalms, is the poetries of prayer and praise. It would be helpful to think like each chapter of Psalms is each different episode of poetry. So this book of Psalms is a collection of poems from, wide ranges of era. So each episode of these poetries has its context. This psalm that we just read together is considered that the poet is the one who is exiled or got kicked out from where he used to be. Well, probably he is on the wilderness, that is not usual place that people live. So this poet is having such a hard time of its life, right? But he still confesses that he desires a day to be with God rather than anything else to happen. So when we see the verse today, this poet says, I'd rather spend a day in your courts rather than 1,000 days of anywhere else, right? And secondly, it is better to be a doorkeeper of your court than I do something else in anywhere else as well. 그래서 내가 다른 곳에서 1,000 days를 보내는 것보다 doesn't matter where am I, 1,000 days is worse than the day that I've spent with you in your court. And also, doesn't matter what I do, it is worse than I do as a doorkeeper of your court. So, he doesn't say he wants to go back to his normal life, right? He doesn't say to put him into a better condition either. All he wants is to praise God and to get closer to God in his daily life of wilderness. Because he knows that he will enjoy a day as long as he stays beside God. Doesn't matter where he is or what he does. Now, we just met another extensions of lockdown, right? We don't know what will happen next or how this would go. But you know what? It is not a matter where you're at or what kind of conditions you're at or what you can do right now. Even when you can't go anywhere or you can go everywhere, or when you can't do anything or you can do anything, the more important thing is, who are you with right now? Lockdown or normal days, wherever you at, 상관없어. 나는 너희가 하루를 살더라도 하나님과 함께 있는 하루를 살았으면 좋겠어. So I hope your day is full of having relationship with God. 1,000 days of anywhere is worse than a day with God. If you trust it, and if your day is spent to be closer with God, 앞으로 어떤 시간이 찾아오든지 행복한 시간을 찾을 수 있게 될 거야. And God is also still waiting for you to spend His day together. 뭐 기도를 해도 좋고 말씀을 읽어도 좋고 maybe just a short chat like how you doing today God? My day isn't fine. 괜찮아. 그런 얘기를 해도 되고 having a break, playing some games, watching dramas, do some exercises, all great. As long as if you are with God. So I hope your days are getting closer to our God. 지금 락다운 또 연장됐어요. 이거 언제 대체 끝나는 거예요? 너무 이제 재미없어요. 답답해요. I know. Maybe we have nothing to do, right? Like all we can do is having some Zoom study and Zoom classrooms. It's fine. Are you with God? This is the point I want to tell you. It's like this poet confesses today. I want you to confess that I want to spend a day with you, my Lord, rather than ease of lockdown or we get back to our normal days. Like he confesses that even though I have everything, even though I can do anything, if I do not have you, my God, that is worse. So I want to have a relationship with God during today and all these lockdowns and after these lockdowns and during your whole life journey. 그래서 나는 매일매일 하나님과 함께하는 기쁨으로 살 수 있는 너희가 되었으면 좋겠어. 우리 함께 기도합시다. 하나님 아버지 감사합니다. Even though some people say this lockdown is no fun, this lockdown is boring, this lockdown we have nothing to do, we feel like we are worthless. But still, we find our joy and we find that our day in this wilderness of lockdown is much, much better than any other days without you, God. And now I want to have relationship with God during all these times and my daily life. 그래서 이 모든 날들을 통하여서 하나님과 함께하는 기쁨이 뭔지 알게 하여 주시고 and please let us find our joy and hope through having a relationship with God and having chat with you, maybe normal days or other specific days, doesn't matter. We want to find you during our day, my Lord. So please lead us to your hands and please lead our hearts to be open to your words and to your voices. Let us use our day to praise you, Lord, whatever we do and wherever we at. 감사드리며 예수님의 이름으로 기도드립니다. 아멘. 오늘 말씀 같이 본 것처럼 I want to use your day to be closer with God, right? And I know this lockdown is quite boring stuff, but our happiness and our joy is not about condition. It's about who are we with. So I want you to be with God for all this today and whole these days that you will spend. Right? 자, 그럼 우리는 하나님과 더 가까워진 모습으로 다음에 또 봅시다.